Hey everyone, it's Mustangofold. I'm just leaving Alchemygirl's base at the moment. Off to my left is Redgarian's original base. He's since moved on to another one. And off to my right is a castle. That is Alchemygirl and myself's first base after we started on the server. Today what we're going to be doing is removing the tunnel and pathway that we made from Oberon leading out to this point. It served its purpose, but now we are putting in the sky track. So we're going to remove the tunnel and then try to restore everything to a more natural appearance. After that, we're going to start laying out and possibly doing a little bit more prep work on another project. And here we have the tunnel. Alchemy did a lot of work on the design and build of it. I assisted with it, mostly in the brute force area of things. So I'm going to meet her at the other end of this tunnel. She's already deconstructed a large portion of it. What I'm going to do is gather materials and start doing the restoration of nature, basically. I'll talk to you in a bit. First tunnel is sealed up now. I think I add a couple of little happy saplings around it to help camouflage it. I probably should have used stone, however, I didn't want to run around and try and bake all the cobble, or gather all the resources to do it anyway. So, we'll go with that. We also left the interior open instead of completely filling it up again, but it is well lit, so if anybody stumbles across it, then they should be safe. Next step, we get to dismantle this bridge and try and make it look a little natural as well, since I was the one that built it. And with that, the bridge has been removed. The area is approaching a natural state. Now you wouldn't know it to look at it, but Alchemygirl and myself have already spent probably a couple of hours working on this so far today. Apparently, trying to make something look like a part of the natural surroundings is a lot harder than just making a build or deconstructing your project. The final part of the project we're working on today is to make this section that's been smoothed out look more natural. I'm going to quickly take care of that, and then we can move on to our other project. Alchemygirl and myself have made it back to her base. After some discussion and looking around, Alchemy has selected this area for her new project. The project is going to be built partially out into the ocean, but it will be connected to her base in this portion of the land. So I'm going to be running around using my coordinates to plot out this area. I'll update you momentarily. Hey everyone, I did my running around with F3 and coordinates up, and then I plotted out this line of torches. This is the width of the structure that we're going to be building. The outer edge of it is probably going to be at that location or one or two blocks out to sea. And then this small pit, I'm going to lay out the torches for where our input into the base is going to come from this build. So we're going to get to that shortly as soon as Alchemy's back with materials. Alchemy has returned. She has brought with her a large supply of the block she selected, and that is polished andesite. I'm hopeful that we have a large enough supply that we will not have to do a lot of hunting off camera. I'm going to grab a few stacks of blocks from her and assist her in her build now. For a how-to on this build, please check the video description. This is a Xadecraft build. It is an infinite villager spawner and iron farm combo. Little update. We've been at it for probably half hour or 45 minutes now. Between the two of us, we've made a fair bit of headway. We've had to reference the video a little more often than expected, but this is the first time building this for either of us. We'll give you another update when we've gone on to another phase of the project. Alchemygirl and myself have finished building the farm/breeding level of the structure. This is going to be a rail line, which is going to be used to bring over several browncoats and a few other villagers to populate that section. So this will take a little while. I will give you an update when that is completed. We managed to get 2 browncoats into the village that survived the trip. Or sorry, into the farming level that survived the trip. For now, we're going to go with that so that we can seal it up and carry on. We'll have to add in more villagers later, but we're going to bust them loose and let them get acclimatized to their new home for now. This is day 2 of the build for Alchemygirl and myself. We finished the farm level. We've put in the spawning location for the iron golems, and I've added in this waiting room, as I like to call it, for the villagers. So we'll give you an update here shortly as we carry on with the build. Alchemygirl is continuing to work on the iron golem portion of the build. However, none of that build can be activated until I finish this portion and one other. This portion is the water transit system for the infinite villagers. They are going to join up with our trading hall. Hey everyone. As I was editing up my video, I found that I had lost quite a bit of footage, unfortunately. So I can't show you the rest of the build out for that build. However, I'll give you a quick little tour of the build. So this is the completed Xadecraft infinite villager spawner and iron golem farm as Alchemygirl and I built it. So coming up from Seaside, we have the pods on the side of the building containing the villagers that account for the village for the iron golems. The villagers on the breeding level detect them and realize that there aren't enough villagers. So the browncoats feed the other villagers who breed. They then fall through the openings as described in Xadecraft's video and drop down into this glass structure as the baby villagers. They then pass through under the lava. If they're very excited, they occasionally burn their head and fall down here into the water transit system that I had been building before the rest of my video got corrupted. The villagers from the roof fall through altogether and drop here. They then flow along and hit the lava. They're then blocked off by a solid block of glass. Underneath them, you can see, are the hoppers. They form a chain and go here, leading straight down. Let me show you this. Well, Alchemy's still doing a few finishing touches. Here is our shut-off villager. As you can see, everyone in here should clue in shortly that he is no longer at the top, which means we should start seeing hearts as they begin breeding again. It's possible that this hasn't been loaded long enough since the last time I was here. Oh, there we go. We have some hearts, so we should start seeing some baby villagers at some point. There's a golem going through the system. Now we're going to wait here and see if we can catch a baby or two on film passing through. And here we have one of our excited, looks to be a baby librarian villager passing under. And he drops down. So, as you can see, if they're excited and bouncing, they occasionally burn their head, but they should survive. This one wasn't excited, or not as excited, so he's passed through and he'll drop down as well. So now I'm going to shut down the villager breeding portion of this design. And this actually works out quite well. We have had that villager mysteriously vanish once on us. Keep an eye on it, otherwise you'll have a very large room full of villagers. The villagers that are bred fall down that water trough and get dropped into, from that opening in the ceiling, dropped into this small chamber. Water in the corner pushes them all to this location. Currently we have quite a number of them in here. Alchemygirl has a translocation piston elevator that leads up and down to this level of her base, which, as you can see, is right at bedrock. It's also where her beacon is. So behind this is way up there where that sea lantern is the start of the water transit system for the villagers. And this is the storage for the iron. Now we haven't been here a lot, so we've managed to only get a little bit of iron into the system so far. It's got a massive amount of storage, mostly because of, well, how it's going to feed down. Should never need anywhere near this much iron, but I like the pattern. So did Alchemy, so we continued on with this design for the storage system. It's a very nice system once it's up and running. Make sure you've got everything prepped up before you turn it on, otherwise you will end up with a sea of villagers floating underneath your infinite farm. And you could also, well, you will also end up with massive amounts of golems underneath the farm as well. Thanks for watching.